It's time to take you on a social ride, and Mercy Emmanuel is here to keep us abreast of what's buzzing in the social media space. Mercy, good morning.
Good morning, Santi.
Hi, Mercy.
Good morning,
Good morning to you.
I love the shade of green.
Thank you. I love your looks too.
Thank you.
So what's buzzing?
Thank you. God bless you, sister.
It should be the Queen's wave, you know.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Good morning, and here are some of the stories trending at this hour. Federal government plans to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030. The federal government says its plan to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030 is attainable if stakeholders play their expected roles effectively. Kachollum Daju, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Labour and Employment, said this when she addressed reporters on Sunday in Abuja. Ms. Daju said the role of key players in the private sector, including development partners, remained indispensable, and the government will not rest in its oar until the goal was achieved. She said the government ministries, departments, and agencies were working hard to actualize the mandate. So this was yesterday. So when I saw the story, I was just like, when? Because we've been hearing, this is already like a ringtone to me. We've been hearing this since 2015. So if you are saying that the federal government, okay, President, let's take it straight. President Muhammadu Buhari's regime or his administration will lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030.
Vision 2030.
Vision 2020.
Vision 2020.
20.
Nice.
No, COVID happened, you know, so it's Vision
Please
2030.
stop giving that excuse. So I'm just wondering, when will this happen? Because of course, when election is near, President Muhammadu Buhari will leave office. Hopefully, we don't know who will be the next president. But I want to believe the APCs believe they are trusting God that they will continue to hold that office. So if from 2015, this is 2022 till date, many Nigerians are in poverty. When would this dream, this mandate come to reality?
2030, is that all?
Okay,
let's get serious.
Because it's not about saying it.
Yes.
Almost all the sectors are not even functioning well. Say education, that's why I've been on strike for how many months?
Over 6
the
months.
health sector, there's brain drain in the system already.
The Jackpot system is
I tell you, my sister.
Force. But you know, I like to work with statistics. They say that they want to take 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030, and we saw the president rehashing that in his Independence Day speech last year, 2021, and then he kept on saying that, okay, these are the things they're doing to pull 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. But as of 2020, the number of people living below the poverty line in Nigeria was put at 89 million. And then the World Bank predicted or projected that by 2022, we would have about 95 million Nigerians living below the poverty line. And of course, looking at the way things are, one would expect that we might even overshoot that. What's the figure of the inflation rate? 20.52%. We see the unemployment rate shooting up over 33%. And, you know, all of these figures are even conservative, because you see experts telling you that these figures are even just on paper. Look at the reality of things. How much do you buy a bag of rice right now? How much do you buy a basket of tomatoes? All of these things are the reality that Nigerians are facing. So the talks are not enough. What are the actions? What are the lines or the steps that you're putting in place to ensure that you lift these people out of poverty? Secondly, 2030, you are leaving office next year. By May next year, we would be saying goodbye to your tenure, and we would be seeing another government take office. So what are the plans? For instance, are you saying that the next government will be APC? And we know that government is never a continuum in Nigeria. There's no continuity. One government comes with policies and strategies and, you know, blueprint. Another government comes, throws that one out of the, starts their own. So even if the APC takes office by 2023, does it mean that they would work towards 2030 to lift this 100 million people out of poverty? If that's the plan, why aren't we seeing a reduction? At least the money shows the day. If I'm going to feed you, maybe give you 3 square meals, I should be able to start by giving you 1. So let's see the reduction in the number of people who are living below the poverty line before you start talking about taking 100 million people by 2030.
So it's not just by saying it, let's see the
It's
words.
not just by saying it, you know, it has to be realistic. There should be a blueprint of how you want to achieve these set goals. Now, you also have to look at it. She has talked about the high inflation rate, 20.52%. I mean, you look at the unemployment rate as well, it's still pretty high. So when you say you want to take people out, what are the ways? Okay, are you trying to create more jobs? And how do you want to create that? In what sectors are you trying to create those jobs? I mean, we've heard of diversification of the economy for like forever. That looks like a ringtone. How are we diversifying the economy really? If you talk about agribusiness, you know, we're diversifying into agriculture. How well have we, you know, improved?
Our oil production dropped to 100,000 barrels per day.
Wait, I'm even to go in there. Wait. How well have we improved the so-called agricultural sector that we're trying to diversify the economy into? Remember that we still have certain parts of the nation where farmers can't even freely go to their farms. So that will still impact on the so-called diversified economy of the agricultural sector. That's
because we're importing pineapples, we're importing palm oil, oranges, egg,
different thing,
frozen chickens.
You know that one?
Milk. No, that's even dairy products basically. No, that's even aside. You talked about the oil and gas, which is, you know, the core of our economy, or the source, as it were.
You know, Samson, sorry. You know, in August, they dropped to 972,000. A lot of Nigerians were shouting, 972. Now it is 900,000.
We do not even know how much we're even producing or consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, they will tell you, yes, they know how much we're producing and consuming, but the truth is, based on all these oil theft, vandalism and all of that, we do not know how much we're even producing or consuming as a nation to start with. So all of these are the issues. So if the government is saying they want to, you know, improve or get people out of it, how do you want to? Is it by creating jobs? Okay, what jobs? In what sectors? Okay, fintech is the new thing. Okay, how are you improving that sector?
You know, statistics of
exactly.
the people who are living below the poverty.
Exactly. Let's get reactions. Really.
Okay, so at Anen Farmer says, please, you should not worry, I beg. Let him just go after his tenure. So this person is already tired. Nigerians, they don't even believe in this administration again. Then at Frank for FCB says, so we should allow you continue to 2030. Then as Tochi says, since 2015, same story, O'Shea uplifter. So these people are just making it look funny, but of course it's not funny. You don't just keep talking, I'm going to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. What have you done?
Yeah.
There's no plan in place. Let's see what you are doing. Not just talking. What are the plans you put into place?
You see, if things were even left status quo, like you left things the way they were, perhaps maybe we could be hopeful that they could get better. But right now, things are even getting worse. Look at the oil issue we just talked about. Pengassan was, you know, protesting the other day that they will no longer produce oil because it keeps getting stolen. But we know that the people who are stealing this oil are those even within the cabal. So it's not as if the people stealing are ghosts. So why is it difficult to nab them?
Well, it is what it is. There are those benefiting from the status quo. That's just what it is, and it's quite sad. But let's take the second story.
So on to the second story. Drama as herbalists attack footballers at Niger. That's Niger State. There was a mad drama at the General Sheni Counchet Stadium in Amai, Niger State on Sunday after two herbalists attacked the Kwara United Football Club. The football team had just arrived at the stadium from the ongoing Total Energy Confederation of Africa Football Confederation Cup when the incident occurred. The video of the incident showed two herbalists, one with keg of blood and the other with goats, perform the act when the players were coming down from the bus. They were later confronted by the team chairman. Let's have it on the screen.
We're not playing. Come back inside. Look at what is it? No. Go back inside. Everybody, go outside.
So this is Africa. Broad daylight, you see herbalists sprinkle blood on footballers. And at the end of the day, the match ended with 3-0.
3-1 it ended on aggregate.
The football man, sorry.
After all the
sacrifice.
Niamey, Niger Republic, it was Kwara United, Nigeria's representative at the CAF Confederations Cup, you know, against AS Douanes. It's ridiculous these things happen. Again, you know, it's dicey because that those who tell you, oh, the same way you are free to worship your own God, that's the same way these herbalists are free. But
your religion
exactly should not. Because, you know, the process of including fetish, you know, acts into sports should not be condoned, especially when there's a direct, you know, confrontation with the opponents. That's it. If they were just doing their thing in terms of, you know, chanting incantations and all without going close to the Kwara United players or sprinkling the goat's blood and all of that on them, you know, you would have said, okay, they're just doing their thing.
Oh, they sprinkled it on the
on the opponent. Not on themselves, on the opponent.
Yes.
You know, that's it.
They were electing from the boss. Then the two herbalists passed. One was sprinkling blood, the other one was with goats.
You know, again, these are things that happen in African football. It's quite ridiculous.
But it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. And it happens in the west and, you know, and eastern part of Africa. For your North Africa, when you have teams play away at North African nations, the fans are more hostile, but they do not go the fetishment. So, for example, if you have Nigerian teams or South African or, you know, Cameroonian teams play in the CAF Champions League and they go to places like Al Ali or Zamalek, you know, North Africa, your Egypt, Morocco and all, what they just see is the fans are hostile, you know, they make use of laser guided lights to, you know, blind the players while playing and all of that. We see all of those things. You know, you can have smoke bombs on the field of play and all, but not in terms of going this fetish way. It's more of a Western, Eastern thing where it's really sad that it's happening. At the end of the day, it didn't work.
So let's hear what Nigerians are saying. At Ishak says, upon the fetish, they couldn't score a single goal against Kwara United. Kwara United progressed on 3-0 aggregate. It's a disgrace to AS Downs. Then African football will never develop. This is another person. African football will never develop. Look at that shit. This is, to me, I think this is embarrassing. Because it's not just Africans that will watch the match yesterday. People from all over the world will watch that match yesterday and see the way they presented themselves. It
was really shameful. It was really shameful. I think for Nigerian clubs on the day, it was a good one. Apart from Kwara United, who had to go through that, other ones that went away from home to play had good experiences. The only disappointment had to be Remo Stars, who lost at home and crashed out on 2-1.
How should there be sanctions?
Yeah,
exactly. You would expect CAF to do that, but again, some of these sanctions won't serve as deterrents because, as I said, we've seen these things happen over time in African football. It's just ridiculous. For example, the issue of, you know, using lasers on players or smoke bombs and what have you. It's something that is prevalent. We've seen it, you know, in North African football for too long. Not just in Champions League, even the World Cup qualifier, your Egypt against Senegal match, we had that happen as well. So these are things CAF needs to be more, there should be more stringent laws. That's it, really.
But let's assume the score was the other way around, 0-3. What would have happened?
Nothing would have happened.
With the evidence,
nothing would have happened because, again, it's about the result on the field of play. It's not about
what happened before the match.
It's not about. You want to ask yourself, did they infringe on the law of the sport in terms of maybe match fixing and all of that? No. You know, it's not like the referee was biased and all of that. So all those
law against what they did.
That was antics. That was antics.
On the opponent.
There'll be punishment for that, but you can't you know, cancel or scrap the result of a football match because of such antics.
Wow.
Well.
Okay.
That's all we have.
Consult their gods before going for the match. But let's wrap it up with the quote from Aristotle, and it says, "It is during darkest moments that we must focus to see the light." Of course, every dark moment comes with lessons, and with some points that you need to move on in life with, because there is no moment in life without lessons. So you just have to pick up the lessons and move on, right?
Yeah, and there's always a reason for everything. So when circumstances happen, when you're faced with trials or tribulations, just like you said, look at the positive side, and just believe that all is well.
Yeah,
all is going to be well.
All is well. On that note, we'll wrap it up today on iBrand Daybreak. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Omobolanle Adeshi. Have a pleasant day.
And I'm Mercy Emmanuel. Have a fruitful Monday.
I'm Samson Lede. Do have a great day.